Welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guys Mo Nawara in the Midwest, and we've got Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are bringing you a pretty full Friday night slate here. Got some best bets and things we like for you guys tonight. Make sure you are headed to thelines.com. Also have plenty of great written content on there for you. All these articles you'll want for all the summer needs you have, including these baseball regular season as we roll along. And make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. We are bringing you these videos each and every weekday of this MLB regular season. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to FDPicks.com or DKPicks.com. Find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's jump into it.
Yeah, a ton to choose from here. All night games going right into the lines. We got Mets plus 124 at Miami, Astros plus 114 at Yankees, Red Sox minus 120 at Cleveland. Pittsburgh is about plus 190 at Tampa. Mo likes the juice there. Dodgers minus 135 at his Bravos. Nats are plus 138 at Texas. A's plus 115 at Royals. O's plus 145 at White Sox. Same thing, Rockies at Twins plus 144. Blue Jays are minus 144 at Hauser, at the Brewers there with Alek Manoah going for Toronto. Cubs plus 138 at Cardinals. Mariners plus 138 at Angels. Phillies minus 125 at Pods. Tigers plus 140 at D-backs. And the Reds are plus 170 at the Giants. We're starting yet again another show with the Yankees, another chance to potentially fade them, but probably get it wrong since they never seem to freaking lose. But Luis Severino on the mound tonight. He's been really good, but I think there's reason to expect Houston to be able to get to him, considering he's depending on the best swinging strike rate of his career. He has the highest zone swing rate, and Houston has the lowest swinging strike rate of any team in the last 30 days. So I think they'll be making contact with him in the zone there. It's a question of how he puts it into the play, how they put it into play. I mean, he has given up 39% hard hit, 15% home run to fly ball ratio. We are at Yankee Stadium. Things tend to leave there. But I mean, for me, it's more about not fading Verlander, sticking to my guns. The Astros came up short, 7-6 last night, but I think the juice here, they're going to get a win in this series, and I think it'll be with Verlander on the mound. His K numbers are down for sure, but his slider and fastball still rate very highly. It's interesting how much contact guys are making against him, but and the exit velocity has been too high in 3 of his last 5, which is part of the reason he had to blow up against the Mariners and White Sox. But mixing into that, I mean, just some elite stuff in terms of getting 72% ground balls from the White Sox, pounding the zone, getting 35% outside swing rate in general because of that plus slider. So I think the veteran, he knows how to pitch around this Yankees lineup. I know he's given up a couple homers at Yankee Stadium when he's in his last 2 starts there with the Astros. Also has 9 Ks in both those starts. So I think he'll avoid the barrels of these big bats and at least keep it relatively low scoring to the middle innings. And then, Yankees bullpen slight edge, but I think the Astros win a low scoring one here. I would look at Astros and under as a correlation.
Yeah, I'll be on the other side of this one. I did get down on the Yankees yesterday. So did the rest of the market, I think. So I think if you wait, you'd get a better price on Astros. Seems like the influential money has been on the Yankees early. It just comes down to the sustainability of these 2 pitcher skill sets for me. I've talked about Verlander a ton this year. I don't think I need to go too deep into it, but yeah, still 11% swinging strikes, which is better than he was early in the season, but still just outperforming what I'm seeing as his strikeout ability. And the projections agree. I think it was Dan Szymborski on Fangraphs wrote an article about the pitchers who are most outperforming their expected stats according to his computer. And Verlander was up there on the strikeouts. He's like 4% higher than he's supposed to be. Severino is actually getting swinging strikes, 13.7%. He's getting swings and misses, and that's the most important part of pitching. So I do project these pitchers pretty similarly. I'm thinking that most people probably aren't, and thinking that Verlander is in that top elite tier. I don't see him there. I don't think he's going to come close to continuing a 2.3 ERA for the rest of the year. And you did mention the bullpens. I actually do think the Yankees have a pretty big edge there today. Specifically, I know that the Astros have been pretty good this year, but I noticed, I was looking back because I watched the end of the game last night, and then I was looking at the box score for the previous day just to see. And Ryan Stanek and Ryan Presley have both worked the past 2 days. So I think Stros are going to kind of have their backup bullpen arms available. Yankees obviously thought they were probably going to lose yesterday. So, they scored 4 runs, I think, in the 9th. They did not use their good bullpen arms. So their best guys are available. So a pretty good edge in the bullpen there. And I do like their offense a little more. They've performed a little better so far. So just kind of small edges across the board for the Yankees. I had them like minus 135. So it's getting close to where you can't play it anymore. But I still think the Yankees are a little lower than they should be right now.
Yeah, a little bit of disparity. I can understand the going back and forth on this one. I would see either side of the coin. I would say, Severino's recent outings are definitely telling for potential downturn for him. But I think we're waiting for Verlander for the shoe to fall to a degree. But at the same time, you mentioned that ERA might not be sustainable. The WHIP is also, below 0.9 or so. So I believe, there's plenty of reason to think if he's not letting guys on base, he's not going to give up those home runs if he's able to keep the ball down. He's actually pitched pretty well at this really short porch Yankee Park. So I would say that there's some pretty good reason to believe. I mean, it's kind of like if they're going to win one of these games in this 4-game series, it's going to be in this pitching matchup. So I would say that that's where I would follow Nate as well on that juice. But let's move on to the other New York team. My Mets are taking on the Miami Marlins and potential Cy Young winner here, Sandy Alcantara. Taijuan Walker takes the mound. A nice bottom of the rotation guy for sure, but not anywhere close to Cy Young status, as will be the case for the guy on the mound for the Marlins. So kick us off here, Nate. What do you like in this Mets-Marlins matchup where the Marlins are about minus 138 on the money line there?
Well, like the Marlins, of course, with Alcantara on the mound, who goes down to plus 250, by the way, after Musgrove was lit up last night as your Cy Young favorite. I mean, he's handled the Mets, including on Sunday, 8 innings, 2 earned just this past one. He had 14 Ks when he faced them last September in a complete game effort. He's 4-1 with a 1.3 ERA at home this year as well. I think you can get some better juice if you look at some of these player performance doubles at FanDuel. You can get 7 strikeouts and a win from Alcantara, plus 240, plus 150 if you just go 6. Walker, he continues to outperform his peripherals, and I guess maybe that's, at this point we just have to accept that that's who he is. He gives up that hard hit rate and is probably due for some more hits because of that, but he actually gets better second time through the order. So the fact that he just beat the Marlins on Saturday doesn't give me that much pause about his performance. He's using that split finger now 30% of the time. It rates plus 8, and that's a new wrinkle that's allowed him to get that high ground ball rate. He's a 51% ground ball rate on the road. Marlins do tend to hit a lot of grounders. So I like the under in the first half run line. It's interesting that it's even juice with these two pitchers for under 3.5 runs first half. I think that's a solid bet. As well as the Marlins. Yeah, Marlins at minus 102 to be leading after 5, or just, riding with Alcantara, saying 5, 6, 7 strikeouts, whatever you want, to correlate with that juice in the win. I don't think that Miami's going to win on the strength of their offense purely here. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring with a total of 7 here, and Alcantara is going to continue to blow away this Mets lineup, which he has at times.
Yeah, Sandy Alcantara is the man. I mean, what can you say? 86.5 exit velocity, getting tons of grounders like he always does. And speaking of guys who outperform their peripherals, I don't think too many guys we can more strongly say are going to outperform their peripherals than Sandy Alcantara. Career Sierra 3.57, but more than a full run better than that in his career. It's 586 innings pitched. I mean, you got to say that this guy is definitely doing something that the projections aren't capturing. 2.59 xERA this year. He's just been awesome. And Miami's offense, I mean, it doesn't look good on paper, but it's still sixth in WRC plus versus right-handed pitching. And Taijuan Walker, he is another guy who does outperform his peripherals, but not to the degree he is so far this year. 1.5 runs better than his Sierra. That's not going to keep up. He's also, he doesn't miss bats, and he doesn't get that many called strikes to make up for it. His called strike plus whiff rate is below average. I think he's like fine. Like you said, he's a good fifth starter, but not somebody I'm looking at when I see this line. I just think Sandy not getting the respect he deserves, and probably this Miami offense not getting the respect they deserve. I mean, like I said a couple of weeks ago when one of you guys first brought up their offense versus right-handers, not even something I was really honestly aware of at that point. But I did have the Marlins closer to minus 150. So I think there was still a minus 140 hanging around this morning at DraftKings. I think that's good. I got like minus 132, I think, or something, but minus 140 still seems fine.
I will put out the disclaimer that my record betting on or against the Mets is terrible, so I rarely ever lay money. But like this is quite the opportunity. I hope I don't jinx us all as we're placing our money on the potential NL Cy Young winner here. And really, on the other side, I like Taijuan Walker. I like the pickup ever since they got him. But at the same time, he's pitching. His numbers right now are way above what they should be for sure. A whole point higher is his xERA than his ERA. And I mean with Alcantara, it's like he's pitching them far and away the most innings, and he's also giving up the least hits per nine. So, he's the only pitcher to basically be averaging 7 innings a game at this point, pitching roughly like 12 more than the next guy, and still has that ERA about 1.7. So, if he's gonna continue to have guys sort of continue to just have that heavy ball, guys can't really get anywhere near or lift up in the air with that really low velocity. Then to your point too, the offense has been much better, especially against right-handed pitching for the Marlins, as we talk about. So I just don't see much opportunity here. And I still think I would take it around minus 140, even minus 150 for the Marlins is kind of how confident I feel about them in this one. So let's finish things off here, guys, with a Philadelphia Phillies matchup in San Diego. They're taking on the Pods. Phillies minus 120 as they have Aaron Nola on the mound, who has looked really, really good, as we know. Another guy eating up a ton of innings and keeping that ERA very low. So he's taking on Mackenzie Gore here in San Diego, a total of 7 runs. Kick things off for us, Mo. What do you like in this one?
Yesterday I grabbed the Phillies late. Once I saw Machado and Jake Cronenworth were both out. So they got smacked. Well, the Padres got smacked. And I'm wondering if another clown lineup is going to be run out there by the Padres again today. I'm seeing Nomar Mazara as a projected starter. He's awful. WRC plus in the 60s last 2 seasons. I'm pretty sure he came into this season without a job. So, not somebody you want to be running out there. Probably more of a bench bat. CJ Abrams might play again. Machado, I think, is still going to be out, I guess. I don't know. I was still seeing him projected in, but yesterday, but now, the site I use for the lineups does not think he's going to play. CJ Abrams, great prospect, but he's got a 50 WRC plus so far, 0.072 isolated power. The projections think he's going to be better than that, but not to a degree that he's a positive. They have him as like an 88 WRC plus ish. The Padres, this is like a team that doesn't hit right-handed pitching on a good day. They have a 98 WRC plus, so they're below the fold this year. And we can't even rule out that maybe Cronenworth has like some nagging injury that we haven't heard about. I don't think he's going to be out, but from what I could tell, he just was given a day off, but non-zero chance he's nursing something that we don't know about. And then, the other side of the coin, the Phillies are just crushing lefties, 114 WRC plus. That's 7th in baseball. They also are very good against the four-seamer, 7th in baseball again there. And Mackenzie Gore, another elite talent, but 62% fastball usage so far. So he's like pretty reliant. It's a really good pitch. When I was watching him, he commands it well, and he throws like 98 from the left side. So he's got the talent, but the Phillies do match up pretty well here. And Aaron Nola's just been marvelous this year. So this one, the other side got bet overnight. So I jumped on the Phillies this morning. around minus 125 now. I think it's good for a play.
Yeah, definitely have confidence in Nola. And like Mo's saying, against a weakened Padres lineup, he's been outstanding on the road lately. His last 4, 2-0, 0.86 ERA, 10.7 K to walk. And on the other side, I think Gore's, hitting a bit of that rookie regression. If you look at his numbers in June, he's given up a 321 batting average, 424 WOBA in 2 starts here. His second time through the order all year. Guys are hitting 333. He's given up nearly a 30% line drive rate against righties at home. Indicates, when you throw it in that hard, if they can time it up. And like Mo said, again, the Phillies are surprisingly good against lefties with all those power hitting lefties in the lineup, and they're patient. And Gore is good. His control's been all right, but he's walking 22% of lefties he faces. He has a 9.9 walk per 9 ratio in left v left. So spells trouble all over. I think the Phillies run total at 3.5 is way too low. This offense is averaging 5.2 runs per game on the road this year and just started to get hot again there last night. So I would tackle that along with just taking them at minus 20 or better.
Yeah, it seems right for that as well. I think, you sometimes worry about that Phillies defense too, but obviously Aaron Nola has been sort of playing well despite any sort of fielding statistics and keeping that ball in a good spot for his sort of weak defense behind him. And with Gore there's not much to like as of right now. And you mentioned it's surprisingly good against lefties is that Philadelphia heavy left-handed hitting lineup. So a lot to like there for some of that juice that you can get with people probably expecting a little bit different there. Like you said, Mo, a lot of bets put on the pods overnight. So some good opportunity here for you guys if you like the Phils as we do. And that is all the time that we have for you in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to follow along with us. We are bringing you these videos each and every weekday of this MLB regular season. So until we see you next, happy betting.